Hey there, what's happening? My name is Ed. I'm with a world-class factory, and what we do is we work with food production companies to help them be more efficient and help them get towards a world-class sort of level as soon as possible. So, first time going live here, just wanted to talk real quick about a topic that I posted across a couple of our channels, LinkedIn and Facebook, recently, and it had to do with meetings, specifically death by meetings. So, um, if you're working really in any business, but I'll just kind of speak from my experience working in a food manufacturing facility for most of my career. You spend a lot of time in meetings, especially if you're in management. And the thing is that meetings are necessary, right? The purpose of a meeting, right, or one of the reasons why we meet, or the primary reason why we meet, is to communicate, right? So we want to communicate with each other, with our teammates, our employees, our boss, whoever it may be, customers, all sorts of things, right? So again, the purpose is to communicate, but the problem I have is that just meeting to communicate is too broad and too generic. And oftentimes, what happens is we get called to a meeting. You're invited to a meeting, you get in there, and some people show up late, people are on their phones, whatever it may be. And after, 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're really not sure why we're even there. Why are we sitting here in this discussion? And maybe you're the one that called this meeting with a bunch of people in the room. And, I really just wanted to come on here and basically make a point that if you're doing this, especially if you're calling the meeting, it's quite frankly, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful of people's time, and um, they have a job that they're hired to do in the company, and if you're just pulling people into a room just to have a conversation about something that's on the top of your mind, that's I just don't think that's very respectful. So what I did, what I learned a long, long time ago, is I really was thinking, what are the primary reasons why we should meet? And again, this comes from my experience working in food manufacturing companies before. So obviously, you can maybe adopt this for whatever business that you're in if you happen to be watching this. But so the three reasons to have a meeting, and again, in my opinion, in my experience, the first one is to problem solve. So you're trying to get everyone in a room because everyone has some sort of input on a particular problem or an opportunity, and so you know we're all there to problem solve. And I'll come back to sort of the agenda and setting the tone for this particular type of meeting. But so problem solving is the first reason why you would want to have a meeting. The second reason you would want to have a meeting is for training. So uh, obviously, if we need to train multiple people, you're going to pull people into a room, and we're going to train them. So training is the second reason. The third reason, that again, for me in my experience, that sort of is a third category, if you will, of type of meeting, is you're going to have some sort of performance dialogue. You're going to have some sort of conversation, a meeting, either with an individual, right? It could be an employee, a coworker, whoever it may be, to have sort of a personal conversation, or a very confidential conversation around performance, around development, things of this sort. So again, meet to problem solve. You're going to have a meeting to either problem solve, a meeting to train, right? So you're going to pull people together for training, or to have a sort of performance dialogue discussion. Now, again, for each type of meeting, it's important for the participants. If you're scheduling this meeting and you're going to bring people into a room, it's very, very important to clearly identify to the participants: is this a problem-solving discussion, a training, or is this some sort of performance dialogue? Again, there may be other categories that you can create. This is just what has always worked for me when I was and am spending a lot of time in food production facilities. So when you're inviting someone into your meeting, you should tell them, "Hey, we're going to be problem solving. We're going to be doing some training, or this is a performance dialogue." Uh, in the case of the problem solving type of meeting, um, tell the participants uh, either, well, you want to tell them about the problem that you're going to meet about, and if you're leveraging any sort of structured problem solving method, whether it's DMAIC, PDCA, whatever, there's all sorts of acronyms and methods out there, right, to solve problems. I prefer the PDCA method, which is a 6-step process. There's also an 8-step process as well. But nonetheless, if you're going to invite people into a problem solving meeting, tell them what the problem is. If if uh, if they already know what the problem is and it's sort of you're coming back together, be clear about what step of the problem solving that you're going to be meeting about. This way, people can be mentally prepared and also bring in any sort of information that is relevant to the problem. This is just going to make the discussion much more effective and much more efficient. Similarly, with a training style meeting, you should, clearly communicate to anyone who's invited to this meeting. What is the training topic? Is there any pre-work that they should be doing before they get into the meeting, and so on and so forth. And then, finally, in the performance dialogue discussion, if it happens to be a conversation with an employee of yours around a particular discrepancy in performance, if there's a problem in performance, then it's okay to give them a heads up about that, right? Tell them ahead of time so that maybe they can mentally prepare, or again bring in some information to prepare for the meeting. That way, again, when you're there to communicate, your time with each other is much more effective and a much more efficient. Um, so yeah, so hopefully that kind of helps. By the way, if you're ever invited to a meeting, and you're not quite sure what the meeting is about, ask the facilitator, ask the creator of the meeting, are we going to be problem solving something? Is this for training, or are we talking about some sort of performance dialogue or performance employee performance issue? If they're not quite sure, then help them through it, right? And really, the point is not to make them feel bad. It's really to help them be successful in pulling a group of people together to be intentional about what they're going to be meeting about. So, um, by the way, I'm streaming this right now on YouTube, so I'm gonna do a lot more videos here on YouTube. Just share a lot of my experiences, a lot of these tools, and so forth. But if you like this, shoot me a little thumbs up, little like. It's helps me to grow the channel, and then more people will see this type of content. I don't advertise this stuff. It's literally just, if you're watching this, you like it, click a like, and then also share it, right? If you want to subscribe, that'd be great too. That way, if I pop up a new video, you'll get it. But share it. If this is a topic that you feel like maybe one of your coworkers, or maybe even your boss or one of your employees, right, they're having an issue around meetings, then please feel free to share this. So yeah, so just to recap, so meetings, we want to be sure that we're being intentional about basically borrowing people's time, right, to help us with something. We want to communicate, but we also want to be respectful of people's time, especially in a very busy operation. So we don't want to be sitting in meetings all day. Um, so yeah, so problem solving meeting, meeting for training, and then the final one would be a performance dialogue discussion. I'll kind of end with this. I used to tell people that I would work with, especially with employees of mine, I would tell them a meeting is something that you do with friends at either a coffee shop or at a bar. If we're at work, we need to be intentional about pulling a group of people together and actually communicating around one of those three topics. So yeah, so hopefully this is helpful. And again, if you like this, go ahead and click that like button. Subscribe if you would, that'd be awesome. And then yeah, finally share this with anyone who you think might get some value out of it. So until next time, hope you have a great rest of your day, and talk soon with the next topic. So all right, take care. See ya.